All right, folks, once again, I am Tom. That is Jimmy. Let's talk about some MVPs for this upcoming season. Of course, Giannis just won. You guys know that. But who's going to win it this upcoming year in that 2019-2020 campaign? We'll take you through top 15 with some couple honorable mentions here. Starting at number 15 at plus 6,600 odds from our friends over at MyBookie. Kemba Walker checks in here.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's actually in this top 15 because if it were just, Kemba Walker on the Hornets, he probably wouldn't be up there. But because the Celtics have a chance to be good, I think it makes some sense because he becomes their new starting point guard. The question is, does the dip in points per game, because there's no way he puts up 25.6 points per game again on the Boston Celtics, that takes a hit, but the assists go up. So how much do you value what?
Yeah. All right, so Kemba checks in there at 15. Number 14, Luka Doncic, your boy.
It's my boy.
You told me you're putting all of your money down. Is this true?
All of it. Like, literally every paycheck I've ever received is going straight towards Luka Doncic as MVP.
I am highly tempted right now to cut out the middleman and say, I will be your bookie here. I will take that bet for you.
Well, you really wouldn't be getting all that much money, but I'd give it to you anyway. So, I'm taking Luka. And, no, not really. But look, Luka checks in. He's the only guy that was a rookie last season that's on it this year. So, second-year player, that's pretty impressive. Now, the Mavs making the playoffs is going to be the biggest thing that could potentially hold him back. Also, he's got to be in really good shape. And there have been, pictures I've seen of him where he's losing weight. He looks like he's trimming down. But if he's out of shape at all, and he's got a heavier workload next season, then there's not a chance in the world that he makes MVP.
But he is the only second-year player on this list. Trae Young did not appear. Here's a question for you, Jimmy, and everyone watching, of course. Let us know in the comment section. Will Luka be an all-star next season? Yes or no?
He almost made it this year. I expect him to take another step forward, so I'm going to say yes. I think he sneaks in near the end of the all-star ballot. Okay. Of course, the West is still tough. But I think he could sneak in.
Apple, Derek, Angelo, Connor, Nathan, the Brennanator, Tris, Arthur, Furious Fire Gaming, Pone Star.
Tom says for sure in all caps.
There
a different
are
Tom.
Lots of yeses in there.
I love
yeses have it, I'd say, almost 75-25.
What's your call? Because you're the unbiased one here.
Sure, why not?
Yes! That's it. He's going to be an all-star.
The Mavs had a pretty rough offseason. You need this farm.
Tom just said Luka Doncic is going to be the MVP next season. He's putting all of his money on it as well. Now, coming in next, it's Kyrie Irving with plus 3,000 odds.
Look, he's going to carry that Nets team because there's no Kevin Durant right now.
Right. I mean, it's his team. It really is. So, if the Brooklyn Nets are in that top four, if they get home court advantage in the Eastern Conference, it's because Kyrie Irving was an elite point guard, as he should be. So he'll be the go-to guy. He has a chance to get up there, but that's kind of why he's in this back third of MVP voting.
Plus 3,000, so still plenty of upside on that one. Let's move then to Damian Lillard, the best rapper, by the way, in the NBA. Plus 2,800.
Better than Marvin Bagley, huh?
Yeah,
you're going to take him. Yeah,
Dame absolutely destroyed him.
He absolutely smoked him.
That was Drake versus, what's his face?
Meek Mill?
No, there was the other one where Drake got his ass beat. I forget who it was.
To be honest, I don't know who we're talking about here.
I am not up to date on my rap feud.
But also, all NBA rappers are the most average rappers, compared to actual rappers in the world.
They all kind of sound the same.
So anyway, Damian Lillard not going to win an MVP for rapping, but he's in here.
Pusha T, that's who it was.
Oh, yeah. Plus 2,800 odds to win it this next season. Portland's going to be on his shoulders, so maybe there's a chance.
Let's move into Minnesota. Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm a little surprised he's just out to the top 10 at number 11 at plus 2,200 here.
Yeah, I like the pick for Towns. I think it's one of those good kind of values because of the numbers he puts up, insane numbers. Double night every single night. Quickly, slowly, I guess I should say slowly becoming a triple-double kind of center. But the Timberwolves are bad. They're really bad.
But if Minnesota gets the 5 seed, I think he's in contention there.
He should be, he's probably a top 5 MVP candidate if Minnesota's somehow a top 5 seed in the West.
So Karl-Anthony Towns there checks in plus 2,200, so some pretty big odds there. Now, there are 5 players who missed the cut, all at plus 8,000 odds. A pair of Jazz players, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, DeMar DeRozan, and Jimmy Butler. Does one of those jump out to you, Jimmy, as the best value up there? Because I have one in mind.
I would say Jimmy Butler.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. I would say Jimmy Butler for now because he's the only guy on that Miami Heat team for now, as long as Russell Westbrook doesn't go there. And if they make the playoffs, even if they sneak in as a 6 or 7 seed, then you got to think Jimmy Butler had a lot to do with it because they missed the playoffs last year.
Commenters seem to lean a little bit over some Ben Simmons, Butler, someone surprised DeMar's on there, but it's plus 8,000. These guys are just inside the top 20.
Yeah.
Question for everyone watching. What is the better sandwich? Type P for a PB&J. Of course, it's a peanut butter and jelly just in case, I don't know, you don't know phrases. And H for ham and cheese. There's one correct answer
There
here.
really is, and
Yeah.
I really hope we're thinking the same one, so let's say it on 3. What do you say? 1, 2, 3, PB&J.
There we go.
There it is right there.
Oh, the H's are winning.
What?
What?
You guys
So many
smoking.
H's.
Yeah, peanut butter and
We
jelly
might need
is
to
the
make this
go-to.
a full-on poll on the channel there.
Someone said a hot ham and cheese.
Isn't that just a grilled cheese or a panini at that point?
It doesn't change the flavor. It's just warmer. Like
I'd say it's a little bit better.
It's better, but just because it's
Wow, this
warmer.
one is this one's close. I would go PB&J every single time there.
Do you like peanut butter and
Okay.
honeys?
I don't mind it.
Producer Tad does.
Which has a good peanut butter and honey,
I
and
love
like
'em.
there's bacon and a banana on it. It's delicious.
Okay,
but
producer Brett was
I'm
telling
not
me
a
about
huge
that
honey
earlier.
guy. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know about the bacon in there.
Oh, it's
man.
great. It's great. That Which sandwich is great. Also, Which. What's up? You guys want to sponsor us? Let's talk there. I move then to our number 10 player, the Joker himself.
Yeah, this guy probably eats a lot of PB&Js because
He has to. He's huge.
He's a big dude, man. I love Nikola Jokic. He's quickly become one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA because it looks like just a taller version of like one of my friends going out there and running and playing basketball because he looks like he's not a basketball player, but he's one of the best. Obviously, top 10 candidate for MVP next year. If the Nuggets are a 2 seed again in the Western Conference, I mean, he should absolutely be up there.
His numbers are pretty insane. 20 and almost 11 with 7 assists per game.
That's
a
nuts.
big man.
That's nuts. I think if he put up 24 to 25 points per game, then he could sneak more into that top 5 of MVP conversation. But I don't think he has to, is the thing. He doesn't have to do that, score that much.
He is an absolutely incredible player. I think, didn't he have more assists than dunks last year?
That might be true.
I think by a pretty wide margin because he doesn't really jump much.
He's not a dunker. He's also not a great defender. Is something that's
Yeah.
going to hold him back for sure. But I would take a triple-double point center if it meant I suffer some defense.
Let's move on to a player that has switched teams, Paul George, plus 1,400. By the way, one of 3 guys here who are at the plus 1,400 odds.
Yeah, he was also in the top 3 of MVP voting this last season. And now they have him, what are we at, number 9? Which makes sense when you go to a better team. Or I guess you're playing with a much better player in Kawhi Leonard than Russell Westbrook was. So it's going to take some of your effectiveness away. And I think that's the main thing that holds him back. That and his injuries. Because he did have surgery.
Yeah.
He did deal with that shoulder problem that just kept nagging him near the end of the year. I think he's a special player on both sides of the ball. I just don't think he's going to be back in that conversation next year as an MVP.
Apple fanboy said, who said he is the second option? My response is like everybody.
Everybody who watched any of the NBA playoffs.
But George did have a fantastic year last year. 28 and 8, shot almost 39% from deep. He is, I think, a worthy inclusion here on the top 10.
Yeah, I think he's also the best two-way player in the NBA potentially. He's up there when it comes to effectiveness on the offensive side of the ball and effectiveness on the defensive side of the ball. You have to take that into account when voting for your MVP.
That's a like on this video. Certain people here, we shall not name names, Mitch, don't believe that you pay attention to what we say, and they don't believe that you can up these numbers, because 117 likes right now for over almost 1,300 people watching.
Nice.
Those are rookie figures. Up those numbers, 125 just like that. So keep those likes coming, folks. We, of course, appreciate it here at Chat Sports. Thank you all very much for liking, watching, commenting, all that, but let's get those numbers up. Let's move then to Joel Embiid, who leads the way for the 76ers above Ben Simmons, by the way, also plus 1,400.
As he should be. I mean, Joel Embiid is one of the most dominant centers in the NBA. The question we had earlier was, who's better, Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid? As a player, Embiid is the better player. It's just he can't stay healthy, and that's what's going to keep him out of these MVP conversations. Is if he's only playing, whatever it is, 50 to 60 games per year, you can't put him on that list because he misses so much. Now he's going to have a bit of a bigger role this year. He was still the first option no matter what in Philadelphia, but now he's like first +1 option because Jimmy Butler's gone. You don't have him to lean on anymore. His numbers are ridiculous.
27.5 points per game last year, over 13.5 rebounds, but I think you made a great point there. For MVP, when you sit out, let's just say 10 or 15 games a year, whether that's the actual number for Embiid, we'll see, But when you sit out that amount of games, it impacts your ability to actually win MVP because it makes you look worse against those that play the entire season.
Yeah, and also there's going to be some nights where he plays a little bit less now that Al Horford is there.
Yeah.
So maybe that takes away some of his averages as well.
Let's move on to another big man, Anthony Davis, plus 800, of course, as everyone in the world, I think, knows by now. Traded from the Pelicans to the LA Lakers. But I think that last point there is a good one. Is he going to be the go-to guy, or is he going to be the second option to LeBron? Who's going to shoulder more, though? Not carry, but shoulder more of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that matters when it comes to these MVP votings for these two. We'll get to LeBron here in a little bit, but Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the NBA. There's people in this office that disagree with us for whatever reason, but Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the NBA. 2 question marks like we just mentioned. It's injury, even though actually he hasn't missed that many games due to injury.
But he's always missed a little bit.
But he's always missed some, just enough. And it's where does he fall in the go-to rankings in LA? But his numbers, by all accounts, and his defensive ability say he should be an MVP.
26 points per game, 12 rebounds. We know he plays fine defense. He can shoot a little bit as well. And long-term, the Lakers are definitely his team, given the age that LeBron James has and all of that. So here's my question for you. Who will average more points per game? Jimmy, let me know. And, of course, everyone in there chime in. Type AD for Davis and LJ for LeBron. Who do you have?
I'm going to say it's AD because LeBron is now your point guard. And he's going to be passing the ball a lot more than he's going to be trying to score the ball. He's an incredible passer. I mean, if he were just called a point guard, he'd probably be one of the best passers in the game. But now that he's doing that, I think his averages take a dip. His assist averages go up, and AD's numbers, because of that, go up as well.
All right, I see AD has most of it. Shout out Tyler, who said Boogie would lead the way there. There we go. Move then to LeBron James, plus 700 here.
Yeah, so he's got just barely the edge over his teammate now in Anthony Davis. But you got to remember, he had the biggest injury of his career last season. Now, it was just a groin injury.
Kind of like the only injury, really.
Really, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, which wasn't a huge deal at the end of the day because they were going to probably miss the playoffs regardless. But now he's not going to be forced to carry that heavy of a load in LA. So do his numbers take a dip, and does that keep him from winning the MVP? Because every year you could make the argument LeBron James should be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, I think
every single season.
Frankly, he probably should have more wins than he has. Just the MVP voting is often based upon, okay, what team had a better year than we expected? What player was better than we expected? And you kind of just accept greatness as, well, that's the expectation, therefore he's not the MVP.
Yeah.
We've seen that time and time again across all sports, by the way. But LeBron last year, even though with the injuries there, 27, 8, 8, and 34% from deep.
That was a down year. That was a down year.
He's a rebound and a half per game and an assist and a half per game away from a triple-double. Can he do it?
I'm going to say no, only because I think he gets the assist numbers. I think he averages a double-double in points and assists next year, but I think his rebounds will take a little bit of a dip because you got AD now. I mean, his best rebounder alongside him was JaVale McGee. So, and there's going to be nights where he plays with AD and Boogie, and he's never even going to have to crash the boards ever. So I think his rebounds take a dip.
Most people say no here, by the way. Let's move then to number 4 on our list of the player who's won an MVP before. That is James Harden.
Look, ridiculous points per game. I mean, 36 points per game is absolutely nuts. But it's all about what the Rockets do, because there's a chance the Rockets, at this point, there is actually a chance they fall out of the playoff picture. If things go really poorly in Houston, and if that happens, James Harden will not even be this close to MVP. And also, it's who else do they bring on if they bring somebody else on?
What if CP3 misses time again and he puts up similar numbers where Harden had 36 points a game and 6.5 rebounds and 7.5 assists and still on a massive volume of shooting, shot almost 37% from deep.
It's ridiculous. It's incredible. It's unlike anything we've ever seen, for sure. But if this team goes to 7-8 seed in the West, which I don't think will happen, but if that happens and he puts up these numbers, is it worth it?
All right, so Harden there checked in at number 4. We have a giveaway for you from our friends over at MyBookie. They, of course, provided all of the odds for these MVP, so you can go bet on them. Head over to chatsports.com/NBA now. Use promo code CHATNBA. That gets you a 100% bonus. So you put down $50. They're going to give you an extra $50 for free so you can bet on LeBron or AD or, if you're Jimmy here, Luka on MVP. Of course, still the top 3 to go. But then on top of that, beyond just the giveaway here, or beyond just the bonus money, you can get yourself a free NBA jersey too. Chatsports.com/NBA now. Promo code CHATNBA. And then email us promo@chatsports.com. A lot of you already have. We're still getting caught up there. But email us promo@chatsports.com, and we'll get you guys hooked up with a free NBA jersey. Maybe you want the James Harden one, LeBron James. You need a new one for both LeBron and Anthony Davis. Both those players just switched teams. And if you're a Clippers fan, you'll also need one for Kawhi, who is our number 3 player here in the MVP odds at plus 650.
I mean, after what he did in the NBA playoffs and the NBA Finals, you can't not have him in your top 3. I mean, I know he's going to a team now where he has another all-star, bona fide superstar, I guess, next to him in Paul George. But he's still going to put up ridiculous numbers. He's still going to play defense. But the question becomes, again, with Kawhi. Number 1, load management. You know, how many nights does he take off now that, especially that Paul George is there? And
that's why he didn't finish in the top 3.
Yeah, and how many points does Paul George take away from Kawhi? You know, how many... Not that it's a bad thing, it just might dip his MVP voting a little.
Yeah, that's kind of the reality when there are people who will vote for Kawhi and for Paul George. It will cut into the others' votes there. Kawhi last year in the regular season was fantastic, and then, as everyone knows, was even better in the NBA playoffs, especially come finals time.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's ridiculous. And, again, I said this about Paul George. You can make the same argument for Kawhi Leonard. Defensively is ridiculous. You can't score on the guy. So you have to take that into account. When you're voting for your MVP, it's an all-around award. It's not just your offensive player of the year.
Let's move then to number 2, Steph Curry, who, unlike previous years, will no longer benefit in terms of ease of play, but also won't be docked by playing alongside Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson for the vast majority of at least this upcoming season there. So Curry here, if the Warriors can win 50 games, I think Curry makes a lot of sense as the pick.
I think the Warriors winning 50 games would require Steph Curry to be an MVP candidate because you look at what they have on the court, and it is not pretty. I mean, outside D'Angelo Russell and Draymond Green, what do you have? Willie Cauley-Stein, Kevon Looney? Like, is that going to move the needle for you? Steph Curry has to be his MVP self if they want to make a push for that top 4 seed in the Western Conference. And look, these numbers right here are insane. They're ridiculous. But I think he has to be better. I do think, like, not that this is bad at all. He has to be better than that.
What if he puts up like 30 and still shoots 43% from deep?
He's an MVP. Like, he's top 2 MVP depending on what happens with other guys in the league.
All right, Curry number 2, but number 1, the reigning champion, Giannis at plus 270.
This is my pick. And obviously it's a pretty safe pick because plus 270. But if he gets, I mean, right now, you know, his 3-point jump shot is shaky at best. Like, if he's left open, you're probably going to be okay if you leave him wide open. Giannis is a special player. I mean, dominant in so many different ways that we've never even seen before. And if he gets a jump shot, let's say he shoots a respectable 30 to 33% from 3, it's over. I mean, there's nobody that's going to be able to stop him.
Giannis does not have much of a deep shot, but at his size, at just athletic ability there, if he can shoot even just 31% from deep, my goodness.
I mean, it's over. It's over.
That's just not fair to the rest of the NBA. Even LeBron, as great as he was, wasn't ever a great three-point shooter. And LeBron, also a freak athlete, didn't have the unbelievable stupid size that Giannis had.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would also say this about Giannis. Malcolm Brogdon's gone. I think Giannis will take on even more ball handling responsibilities in Milwaukee, which he already did. I think that those assist numbers could go up as well.
All right, so Giannis coming off a 27.7, 12.5 rebounds, and then 6 assists. Absolutely incredible. But let us know, folks, who is your pick to win NBA MVP this upcoming season? Let us know. You went Giannis. I'll go Curry here.
Okay.
That will be my pick. I don't want to just pick the first player. That's kind of lame. So I will go with a second option there. I'll go Curry. Keep those votes flowing in here. If you missed it, here are the top 15 from 1 to 15. Giannis, Curry, Kawhi, Harden, and LeBron are your top 5. Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Kemba Walker as well. Jimmy, you still going to put all your money on Luka for the value?
Just for the value, I'm putting all my money on Mavericks Rookie of the Year, Luka Doncic.